Hello my friends and welcome back to the channel. So you've got through withdrawal and the euphoria of what some people call the pink cloud has worn off and real life has hit. Suddenly you find yourself sober, perhaps for the first time for a very long time, and having to navigate life on life's terms. For everybody this is really difficult. But I want to reassure you now, and this is the purpose of this video, that it can and it will get better. I won't say it gets easier, although you perhaps won't notice it, but it does in a sense, but you're always going to have to work hard at your sobriety. That's inevitable, particularly if you've been a serious addict or alcoholic for a long time and it's all you've known. Just before I give you a few little tips, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. And if my videos have helped you or anyone you know in any way at all, click the Ko-fi link in the description. Have a read how you can support the channel. I'd really appreciate it, and thanks to those who've done that already. So you land in early sobriety. I get people, and I was exactly the same, who are struggling. As I say, the pink cloud's worn off and you're saying to yourself, well, is this it? You feel very lost and alone and unsure. If you watch my last video, and I'll link it to this video, you'll see you have to make some pretty difficult choices in sobriety, particularly in early sobriety. Because in a sense, you've been a really selfish person during your addictions. And you have to really continue to be a little bit selfish in some ways, because your sobriety has to become your number one priority. It really does. Because if you go at it half-assed, it's difficult enough already. It's bloody hard on some days. If you go at it half-assed and you're still mixing with the same people, peer pressure is an awful thing. Particularly around family, I find, oh, you're boring now, you don't drink. I'm sure you can have one or two. Don't forget, you've used alcohol to mask every single emotion and feeling along the way, to give you confidence in social situations, to celebrate, to commiserate, to grieve, to relax at the end of a busy day. I'm not just talking about alcohol, drugs as well, whatever it is. You've done it to hide from feelings and emotions you've suppressed for years. To put pain behind you may have felt in childhood or later. To hide from shitty jobs and shitty relationships. All sorts of excuses. And they're not just going to magically disappear during early sobriety. You're going to find that crutch that you once lent on has gone. And it feels very wobbly and it feels very hard. The first thing you need is going to be support. However you get that support and someone to talk to and share with is up to you. Professional support, friends, family, groups online, groups like AANA, groups, all sorts of smart recovery. It doesn't matter what it is. There's a lot of bullshit talked about, various groups. It doesn't matter. If it helps you, and it helps you unload the way you're feeling on a regular basis, and you can learn from other people who are in the same situations as you. And what it does, it builds a new circle of friendships for you and perhaps hobbies for you. It takes you in a different direction than you were going down. If you rely on the same things, if nothing changes, does it? It's as simple as that. So if you carry on going to the same places, then inevitably the same things will happen. If you mix with the same people, then the same things will happen. It's just, it's human nature. It is what it is. It's dopamine pathways that you've built over many years, pleasure pathways that are related to alcohol and drugs, that will take you down those paths even if you don't realize it. It will ignite obsessions and cravings in you if you don't avoid them. Things is another one, like anger, resentment, tiredness, sleep. All these things you've got to prioritize. See, on the positive side, there are some great immediate benefits that you may, because you're struggling with life on life's terms and all this shitty stuff's happening and you're having to make difficult choices, and you feel as though you're boring and lonely, you might forget the immediate benefits that are happening with your health, the extra energy and the extra fitness you have. You also might forget that in addiction, you were a shitty person more than likely. I know I was. I was a liar to myself mostly, and to other people. I was selfish. I was a thief. I was dishonest. I had no respect for anyone, myself, anyone else. I had no integrity. I was not a nice person or a decent person. Unknowingly, as you get sober, all these things start to come back, and you may not, because you're too worried about other things, you may not notice yourself becoming the person you once were again. But it does happen. You suddenly think, well, I'm starting to care about myself and care about other people. I'm starting to be honest with myself. I'm starting to be honest with people around me. I'm being kind, I'm being considerate, I'm being compassionate. And I'm giving service. These are all so important and will all keep you sober. You've got to start giving of yourself and what you've learned in sobriety, giving to other people, and start to give some service, however it may be, whether it be volunteering or in an organisation or just helping a fellow addict or alcoholic, talking to someone. All these things will help you stay sober. On top of all that, obviously, prioritise your diet, what you put into your body. It's all right in early sobriety, shoving chocolate in your face. We all, those cravings, people say they're to do with the amount of alcohol you had and sugar and spikes and all the rest of it. And that, to a certain extent in early sobriety, might be your body rebalancing. Fine. And whatever gets you through those first couple of 3 days or week or whatever. But then it has to stop, because if you keep doing it, then you have to ask yourself the question, what you're actually using the food for. Are you sober in the head? Are you mentally sober if you're still using stuff to make you feel better? So if you put good stuff in your body, then you'll reap the rewards mentally and physically. No one's saying you can't ever have a chocolate bar or a fizzy drink now and again or this, that and the other. But don't do it every single day. Just do it moderation, because you can moderate that. If you're putting 75, 80% whole food in your body, then the odd treat's fine. Move your body every day. I go on and on and on about it, but just get out into nature. Even if you're feeling shitty, if you're feeling angry, it's even better. Just get out, walk. Half an hour's walk will make you feel 100% better. No one's saying go to the gym every day. I do a lot of stuff in my front room at home. I can't afford a gym membership. And that's fine, because you can do what you need to do without that. And I do. So move your body every day. Prioritise your sleep. All of these things will help you mentally and physically stay sober. Learn to understand that life happens around you. Shitty things happen. And you're much, much better able to deal with them sober than you ever were with a drink or a drug inside you. It's as simple as that. That is a fact. And your friends and family and those people, you may think, they're never going to forgive me. Then things, as you change, you can't ever change the past. Regret is the worst and most stupid, wasted emotion of all. You've just got to keep moving forward. As you get stronger and a better person, people will notice. They will notice, trust me. They will see you for what you are, which is all that's important, because we only have the present moment. And finally, don't think too far ahead into your sobriety. I've got to be sober forever. I never think like that. Someone asked me tomorrow, are you ever going to drink or use a drug again? I said, I don't know, but I'm not going to be using one today. That's as far ahead as I think, because an addict's brain can't cope with projecting into the future like that. It's very demotivating to think you can never, ever have another drink or a drug again, to go down that avenue. Just think day to day, hour to hour sometimes, minute to minute. All of these things will help you. Talk to someone, support, sleep, food, exercise, and living in the day, all of these things. It will and does get better. You'll have a freedom of thinking you've never had before, space in your mind that's not taken up with alcohol and drugs, to do other things, to progress in your life, to get better, to get stronger, to become a better person, to achieve the goals that you've always wanted to achieve. All of these things will come to you if you can get through these first months, this first year, whatever it is. I promise you. Carpe diem, my friends. Seize the day today. Stay strong and stay sober. Much love to you all. Bye-bye.